Okay, so finding missing sides or missing angles. So, summary. What you do first, you always label the sides. Opposite the right angle, hypotenuse. This is the angle of interest. Opposite that, called the opposite. And next to that, called the adjacent. You then write down SOHCAHTOA. You highlight the two that are of interest to you. This is of interest to me because I've got it, and this is of interest to me because I want to find it. Where do you see O and A? O is there, A is there, it's tan. So you draw the TOA triangle. You write tan of the angle here. You then decide to cover up the one you want to find. You cover up this if you want to find the angle, this if you want to find the opposite, and this if you want to find the adjacent. I want to find the opposite. So the opposite is tan theta. Because they're next to each other, it's times by the adjacent. So the opposite one, x, is tan of 22. Bracket opens there, close the bracket, times by 15. Tan of 22 times by 15. X is 6.1 centimetres, or metres in this case. Next question, label the sides, hypotenuse opposite the right angle, opposite the angle of interest, and next to the angle of interest. Which ones am I interested in? The hypotenuse because I've got it, and the opposite because I've got it. Where do I see O and H? O and H are here, so it's the sine triangle we draw. We use sine. SOH, always the middle one that you put up at the top. S stands for sine of the angle. If I want to find the angle, that's the one I cover up. Doesn't matter whether it's called X or theta, that's the one you cover up if you want to find the angle. So sine of the angle is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of X equals 7 divided by 18. To find X, you've got to undo the sign. So that's when you press shift sign, sine to the -1. Inverse sine of 7 over 18. 7 over 18. The angle is 22.9 degrees. Just one more. Labelling the sides, opposite the right angle, opposite the angle of interest, next to the angle of interest. We're interested in A and H this time. I'm interested in A because I've got it, and I'm interested in H because I want to find it. Where do we see A and H? A and H appear in cos. That's the triangle you draw, CAH, the middle one's always at the top. C stands for cos of the angle. This time I want the hypotenuse, you cover that. So the hypotenuse is the adjacent over cos of the angle. The hypotenuse, which is x, the adjacent, which is 10, and the angle cos of 22. Fraction 10 divided by cos of 22. X equals 10.8 centimetres.